Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hot and Hustle. As promised, I have Emily here for this episode. Say hi, Emily. Introduce
Hi
yourself.
guys, I'm Emily. I'm Terry's best friend, her main man, her one and only, right?
Yeah, so right.
Forever and always.
Always. Even if we have interruptions in the middle. Yeah, forever and always. Yeah.
Always.
The reason why Emily is here is because we are going to be talking about how friendship breakups hurt too. You know, we always talk about the romantic breakups and how they hurt, but I feel like friendship breakups hurt even worse. A few months ago, I went to a conference where I heard one of the guest speakers, they really spoke about how friendship breakups between women hurt more because women love intimacy. And I've known Emily for about 4 years now, or 5, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And like the first time I met her, I used to think she was like a mean girl because she was just quiet and shy. I don't know. She was just, yeah, she was a Christian mean because she was Christian. Oh wow. Trauma. I'm back to that moment again. But yeah, I've known Emily for a long time now, but you know, like I said, we've had interruptions in our forever and always. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, and today I think we're going to be talking about our last down when
Our little pause.
yeah, our little pause in our forever and always, where I sort of like stepped away from our friendship, and I was like, no, not the audacity.
No, sorry.
But yeah, she was going through a lot then, and I was also going through a lot in terms because I was seeing our friendship in a different way than she might have been seeing it at that point. But I decided to take a step back from our friendship, and you know, like thinking about it, I think, you know, I thought of the friendship breakup from my end and how I was feeling, but I never really stopped to look at how you felt when I decided to like. Because guys, I did it with the text.
I've broken up with
Yo.
through text.
With the text. Yes. I'm sorry. First of all, let me just apologize. Next time I will do it. No, there's no next time. What am I saying? There's no next time. Because we're doing this better now.
Got something to tell me?
Oh,
Say
sorry.
it with your chest.
But anyway, so Emily, I've prepared like a few questions that I want to ask you in relation to when I decided to step away from our friendship. So the first question being, when I pulled away, how did you feel? Did you know that I was hurting you at that point?
I mean, I feel like you had spoken out a few times of like, hey, like you're being a bit quiet, you're not really reaching out, and I know that there were times where you did try, and I'd always, you know, either run away from it or tell me I'm busy, stuff like that. So I was very aware that our friendship was kind of a no, but I didn't really think that it would get to a stage where we wouldn't be friends. Get it? Yeah. But in terms of like knowing that we've hit a low point, I think I knew that, but you didn't make it quite clear sometimes.
Okay. And when I did decide to step away from our friendship, did it feel sudden to you, or like in the days leading up to it, did you sort of like see like me starting to pull away, or like did you sense like maybe that was coming? Like I know you said like we were at a low, but like was it like that sudden to you?
Honestly, I think it was because I think before you sent me that message, I think we had hung out a few times, and I remember opening up to you about whatever I was going through at that time, and you told me like, you know, why you always coming to me when you're at this point. But with friendships for me that were always so close, it was one of those things where even if we're not talking for a long time, the moment we do talk, it's back to where we left off. So I thought that was kind of the dynamic with us, like even if we don't talk, that's fine. So when you decided to then pull away, I was like, oh, is it this serious that you don't want to be friends? Because when someone decides to cut you off their life, it's like, I've given you one too many chances, and that kind of made me think like, how much did I feel prior to making this happen?
I get it. Okay, so like you said, like I had spoken to you like a couple of times before, but I think where I was coming from when I finally decided to like, you know, maybe, because in my head I was like, you know what, I think I should just take her space. Like But I was also feeling a bit drained because yes, we'd have days like we'd hang out sometimes and like we'd talk sometimes. But like it felt like when you were really going through something, that's when you'd come over. Because like I know like when you had your happy days, it felt like you were sharing them with other people. But when you had your bad days, you would come to me. And I feel sort of like honored that you come to me when you're feeling bad. But I think it was also like becoming a bit draining to me at some point because I was like, is this what our friendship is? Where we just like come to each other at just the bad times and not share the good times? Because it also felt like when you were having the good times, you had your own group of friends where you like. But yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from with that. Which leads us to our third question, which is what confused you or hurt you the most about how I handled things, like how I sent the text, how I what to say, the text, what was I thinking? Where would I send it to? It's okay.
But that tangent.
Yeah. But yeah, what confused you or hurt you the most about how I handled things?
I mean, like you said about, we would come to each other when we're down. So for me, part of me felt that same way of like, we're not really hanging out other than those moments. And when it's good moments, it's like, I also felt certain times you wouldn't share with me, right? Which I get it because if you're constantly trying to get someone's attention, you're gonna pull away. But it also felt the same way where it's like, you're expecting me to come to you, but you're not coming to me either,
Okay.
right? And my door was open, maybe you didn't feel that way, but it was kind of the same thing. So when you did send it to me, I was confused in the sense of like, you already know what I'm going through. But then it was like, like for me, it felt like the two were very separate. But then I could see like, okay, this wasn't about just me, it was beyond that. So I was just confused of like, why now? Why didn't you try it? Why didn't you then ask me to hang out and not talk about it? Ask me, let's do something else. To kind of give it that one last shot to be like, it was more like, that's it. So for me, that confused me of like, why didn't you want to try before just...
Yeah. No, I think I understand where you're coming from because I'm thinking about it now and I'm like, okay, like all the times that I really like probably ever invited you to like a space where we could hang out, it was probably also like with our other friends. Yeah, I think I should have, because like to me, like when now like invite you to that space where like it was me and others, like you wouldn't come or like you'd be like, oh, like I'm coming.
Yeah, like even if I did come, we would hang out,
Yeah,
it was fun,
yeah.
but I don't think we bonded
had
enough
like
to
that
level,
one.
and our friendship really started with just us.
Yeah.
And we had those small moments.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, we lost that a while ago,
Yeah.
and then we just hang out with everyone else.
Okay.
So in a way, it was like, I know you, but I don't know you, and then you know me, but you don't know me.
Okay.
Right?
I get it. Yeah, because I know you also make effort to be around your friends, and I'm like, I don't know your friends. Why don't I come and hang out with your friends? Like, yeah, but I understand where you're coming from. Were there ways that you felt that you were showing up for me and maybe I didn't see you?
I think, like I said before, I think for me, the door was always open. Like, you need me, I'll be there. Like, you call me and I'll come. But then it was like, you never did. And the only time I did find out something was happening is when now I text you, and then you talk about something and open up and you tell me, oh, I also do such and such. And I'm like,
Why did he tell you?
You tell me like, I've been broke, I didn't have money to whatever, and I was like,
Yeah.
girl, you could have reached out.
Yeah.
Right? You could have come, I'd make you tea.
Guys, sorry, just to stop everywhere. If you ever meet Emily at any point in your life, make sure she makes you tea. Make sure she makes you tea. Emily's tea, I think tea was just like.
I think that's what was needed.
I think
I should have come to your house.
We should have just poured of tea and I was just like, okay, Emily, all is forgiven, all is forgiven, everything is fine. I think that's what you should have done. It's too late.
It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was one of those things of like, the friendship we created was such that I felt like I gave you that space of like, if you ever need me or want, even just to text, like it was open. Even if I was not showing up, I don't feel like I closed you off, but maybe that's what you felt.
Like
a safe space.
Yeah. I think already like in that space of like, because there were moments where like, oh, sometimes like I would text you and then like you take like long to respond or something like that. So like,
Fortunately, you're not the only one who said that.
it's okay, I understand. I forgive you now because I'm that person too now. Where people like text me and I'll like respond after like 3 days, guys. You wait for 5 business days for me to respond. Sorry.
2 weeks later, like, oh yeah,
I finally responded. I'm so sorry. Guys, I actually think that I respond sometimes and then I forget. So please don't go to this. But yeah, I get what you say. Like that door was always open, and I think my door was always open to you as well. But like I think as well in my head, I was starting to clock out and like check out because I'm like, you know what, like she like I think I was sort of put in a space where I was like, she's not trying. And also because of the hurt that I was feeling, even if you did try, I wasn't seeing it anymore because I was already like clocking around like, no.
And I felt that, and I think that's one of the things why I felt it was distant, because when I did show up, it was like I could feel the tension.
Okay.
Right, so we are like even with other people, I can feel that tension. Like Harry is weird, or like people are weird with me. So then I'm like, why am I in this?
Okay.
Because then I hang out and all you guys will keep saying is like, oh, you never show up, oh, you're never there, and I'm like, yeah, but you know. So when that became consistent, it was now harder to then come. Because it's like, even if I come, you guys are weird about it.
Okay.
So I'm like, maybe I'm not.
No.
Yeah, no, exactly. So it's like a lot of negative thinking. Yeah.
That's what happens to overthinkers. That's overthinkers. Like
Once you fail to
you think about 10 different things in your head, but hey, it's okay. We love you here at Heart and Hustle. You're more than welcome. It's safe space. Safe space. Okay, and then in I think it was in December when I finally reached out to you.
Yeah.
And by the way, like I think like months prior to that, like I had moments when I'm like I just wanted to like share something with you and I'd like type it out and I'm like, no, not now. Because you were really that, you were my person. Like you've always been my person. And like sometimes like I'm like, okay, and I'm like, I don't know why she does this. But like I really felt like I lost, I felt that grief of losing you. But I also needed to go through that motion of like, okay, I can have a life like outside Emily, but I also wanted to have a life with you. Like we had built like a strong foundation of friendship already, and I didn't want to lose that. Which is why I ended up texting her. Did I text you on Instagram or?
No, I think you texted me on my number on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And then you texted me, and then we called immediately.
And she starts crying.
You
By the way,
crying.
Emily, one thing I love about Emily wears her heart on her sleeve. Like her emotions are like right there. Like her tears are like right at the doorstep.
I refuse.
I think I've been in like several like difficult moments and situations that have caused me to become numb to certain things. So like stuff, guys, unfortunately I could be that kind of person where you would tell me like, hey, somebody has died, and instead of crying I might laugh. But it's not like because I guess it's just a broken part of me, okay? But I think when I then met Emily and like just saw how vulnerable she can be and how like safe you are with your emotions. I know you don't like it, but like it's something that truly inspires me. But let's not go too further. But like don't start. My question actually becomes, what made you open to eating with me when you had like that conversation?
So honestly, like even when you sent me that text, I was heartbroken. I was completely heartbroken. I remember looking at it and I was confused. But at the same time, I was like, it felt, you know that feeling when your entire body just goes cold, and you just feel like you're sunk. And I just looked at it and I was like, this is serious. I'm losing a friend. And like you said, like our friendship was strong to the point it was like I don't want to lose. Like I can't imagine you not being there, even if we didn't speak. So for me, it was a huge blow, and was something that I respected your decision. Obviously, I wasn't gonna be this crazy batch, and chase after you. But you were always there in my prayers, and it was always one of those things like if we don't meet now, maybe in the future, And I was always open to it. Like if you came back that very same day, I'd be like, Hell yeah. But at the same time, I think that situation kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things. Because at that time, like, yeah, I was going through things, but you can't really use that as an excuse to not show up. And I wasn't not just showing up for our friendship, I was not showing up for most of my friendships, I was not showing up for uni, I was not showing up for my internship at the time, I was literally just there, I was floating. That sort of brought me back to reality of like, hey, if you don't step up, you're not only going to lose the people around you, but you lose yourself. And I couldn't let that happen. So it put me on that journey of like, you have to be accountable for your own actions and don't be excuses. So I was always open to having you back in my life. Take a moment, let it out, feel me cry.
Okay, but I think even one thing, like you say, like I couldn't imagine you I couldn't imagine having a life without you. I remember one day I was having a conversation with Tony, who was my friend, and we were just talking about like what it would look like what our wedding party would look like. And I'm like going through and I'm like, oh, these will be my bridesmaids. And like for so long I always looked at like Emily's gonna be a part of my bridesmaid. So getting to that point of Emily won't be my bridesmaid. Like I was like, no.
I mean, it was the same for me as well, because a friend at the time was also like talking to me about it, and I was like, I can't imagine her not being like, you keep telling me, text her, and I'm like, I don't even know what to say. It's like, just do it. I'm like, yeah, I can't, but I can't not imagine her. So it was very mutual.
Yeah. I think it was also the same thing for me, like when I would be like, because even when you tell me, text her, I'm like, what would I say? I broke it off, like, hey, it will make me look like a fool just coming back, like, hey, oh my god. If the shoe fits, you want me to do violence, it's not
because
I don't.
Beats me.
I don't. We have a healthy relationship. We have a healthy friendship. We have a healthy friendship. We have a healthy friendship, which is the next question. Do you think we have a healthier friendship? And if so, what is it about our friendship now that makes it healthy?
Yes, we do have a healthy friendship with abuse, but consensual abuse. Consensual. I mean, she beats me, and I'm just like,
you beat more so.
Not anymore. What do I think is healthy about it? I think we have both grown a lot from when we first came to Malaysia up until now. We've been through a lot of ups and downs, whether that be together or personal, and we've grown so much as individuals that has allowed us to not only understand ourselves, but kind of be more understanding towards the outside, have a different perspective. Because I think when we came, we were in our own bubble. So one thing I can say is you may take things too personally, or I, don't see things outside of my own space. And so going through those things, you start to learn that, and I guess it's part and parcel of growing up and becoming more wise. And now we're able to set boundaries. We're able to know what is it that I want from a friendship and what I want to give as a friend. So that, I guess, allows us to give and take. And I think one thing also, we're able to speak out to be like, hey.
True. It might be in a joking way.
Yeah, before it wasn't like that. Before we just internalized it quite a lot.
Yeah. I guess we're always what to do. But for people that are probably like going through the same things that we went through, or maybe somebody's going through like a friendship where they feel like either their friendship is in the end, because some friendships have seasons, but some friendships like just need you to I think like for us, I think like this band was like really important for us so that we could reflect on like by ourselves and then come back to it. So like for people that are probably like going through those motions of like, hey, I don't know whether I should be in my friendship, or you just feeling like, the season is just not okay. What would you say to those people?
I would say be kind to yourself. That's number one. Forgive yourself for the now, forgive yourself for the past, just so that you can walk a step forward. Because if you don't, you're kind of just stuck in this limbo. Number one is obviously be kind to yourself, but also understand that the person outside have their own stuff that's going on, and it's not necessarily your fault, but you're responsible for your own actions. So take accountability and take that step forward to make a difference, while being kind to yourself and kind to the other person as well.
That was really good advice. If wow, but yeah, if you feel like this episode resonated with you, just take a deep reflection. Take a hot check, do a hustle mode. Just maybe reach out to that friend that you probably just left without saying bye, like I did. But yeah, be kind to yourself, reflect, talk to that person. If you're not ready, it's okay, just keep reflecting on yourself. But if you are ready, maybe reach out to that friend, try and see how you guys can go about it. And friendships are important. So if there is a chance for you to reconcile that friendship, then you do so. But do what is best for you as well, and your peace and your peace of mind as well. But this is all that we had for today with Heart and Hustle. Thank you so much, Nikki, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for joining us. I will see you next time on Heart and Hustle.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, turn on that post notifications.
Yes.
What else? What else are you influencers say? I'm not influencers, YouTuber, podcasts, famous people.
Be kind.